much actually for talking about architecture, so that you can go through the videos. So now, just to recap, step zero is the data warehousing on the tables for which we have to generate reports and all. So so today we are going to create a new repository. For that, we'll take some sample tables and all that we are going to start. So, and then we have to develop a repository which is metadata. So nothing but whatever information, whatever metadata information or structure or data about it, anything or program, anything design model, anything which we call, in order to help OBIEE understand what are the dimension tables we have, what are the facts we have, that we are modeling in a different component which is called repository. So repository, OBIEE repository will be stored in a file, and the file extension will be .rpd, and this RPD, or going further I will be calling as a RPD, or you can also call as a repository, both are same. So generally in outside world, every technology we call it a different name, but here in OBIEE we call it as RPD, or in a bracket repository. So we will use OBIEE administration tool to develop this repository, and this will be developed on top of this data. That is the first step. Then you can develop n number of repositories generally, but for one project you will have only one RPD. I can develop n number of repositories, but in a normal real time you will have only one repository for the entire project. You won't create multiple repositories. And to inform OBIEE, so just now I started OBIEE software now. So when it is starting means it should be equipped with this repository. So for that it should know what is the repository and where is the repository, all that information this BI server has to know. So that's why whenever this BI server is getting started, so how we start just now, like I just went and then started this one, means your servers are going to get started. When it is starting, every server has its own configuration file. So here, the first server, core server of OBIEE is called BI server. When we are starting OBIEE software means, and yesterday we have seen two important servers, WebLogic and middleware. They are not actually core servers, they will be managing the main software. So these two has to be there. Okay, and without that we cannot think about anything. But they are not core servers; they are management. It will help to manage other servers. And from the core server, the first important server is BI server, which is the main pillar of the OBIEE software. So when I am starting, when the BI server is getting started, it will read this configuration file, and it will start the server as per the configuration file which we mentioned here. So in all older versions, we are changing this configuration file. Yesterday we have seen manually, but from OBIEE 11 onwards, we are going to make the changes on the configurations file from the Oracle Enterprise Manager, that is EM. Okay, your path and then /EM, whatever link you are seeing. And in the same way, next important server in OBIEE is presentation services. So generally OBIEE server will load repository and then will start ready to serve. So the link from here to will happen this way. It will read this repository, load this repository, and then it will link over here. And the next is what is presentation server activity role is? The name itself, presentation. It will help to presenting the data in your required format. So I want to create some chart, graph, or a lot of cosmetic or graphical views I need to incorporate when I am viewing the data. For that matter, what are the internal software components required? So those software components will be available in the presentation services. These are the two important servers if I want to start working on OBIEE. So mandatory, those are WebLogic and then middleware. Those has to be there. And then on top of that, the next important servers are BIE server, presentation. So you need to remember these four minimum. WebLogic, Enterprise Manager, and then BIE server and presentation server. Rest also, there are other, because we have noted on big list of the servers. They are all not mandatory, they are all add-on and they will be coming to picture only when needed. But when you say core OBIE, these are very mandatory. So that's why I mentioned them as a, there are different other components also like scheduler, publisher. So this is all additional. When we are going to work on, we require them. Okay, otherwise we don't require them. So that's why they are the second priority. But in the entire diagram, the four things which you need to remember mandatorily: BIE server and its configuration file, presentation services and its configuration file, which is called instance config file, and repository. And this repository will be building with the BIE administration tool. So once we do everything, okay, then we are able to start working on that. But this is the overall architecture. So once you load, when you start it, and we are already seen, I will go to the link, okay, where I can go and create a report and all. So we'll see these steps follow here. So now